Yo, 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 what's happening, my peoples? This is the Corey Malone Project, and I am back with another fantastic video. Today's video, we're actually going to be reacting to both Jam Vendetta and also Fight for New York tier list that was created by a few of the members in the community, which are very, very good at creating these tier lists based upon Def Jam standards, and also people who've actually played the game. Wow, that was kind of a shitty intro. Let me get that from the top, y'all. Let me get that from the top. Actually, let me go over to the intermission right now. Yo, what's happening, everybody? This is the Corey Malone Project, the host of the Corey Malone Show, and I am back with another fantastic fucking stream. And as you already know how I do it up for the one time, and if you haven't already done so, please grab some water, please grab some food, grab your edibles, grab your perkies, grab your weed, and we're going to get right for this segment that we about to shoot. With that being said, let me go ahead and light this shit up and let's get it popping. Today's video is actually going to be a reaction and a rating on the Def Jam Fight for New York tier list, along with the Def Jam Vendetta tier list. So if that sounds pretty cool to you, consider subscribing, liking, following, sharing, and also showing as much support to my motherfucking channel as you can. So with that being said, let's go ahead and bring it up, and we go get into it how we motherfucking do it, peeps. We're actually going to start from the bottom up, and I'm going to wait a second for my man's Xpress to get in here, and we're going to talk about the details, and I hope that everybody can see this. I think that's pretty good to show. Uh-oh. Actually not. I guess I gotta zoom in. Fuck it. Alright. So in order to be fair for everybody, when it comes to this rating, I'm actually going to start from the bottom and work my way up based on how the tiers are set up. And I think it's going to be a pretty great, fun, and fantastic stream. So let me give my man Xpress a few minutes because he brought this idea up to me, and he's in love with the game, and he fucks with the game. And I definitely want to hear his opinions on everything that I say. And I also want to see what you guys also have to say. Let me go ahead and hit this weed real quick. Happy Saturday, by the way, everybody. Let's get it. Let's start by reading the sections of. Hold on, let me make sure that we get over here. Okay, cool. Let's start by reading the sections and everybody who created and curated this tier list. It's much support for everybody who took their time. The streets are calling, and it's time to double down. Regular live sets, streams, competition, fandom, community updates, and more. Join the Club Murder Def Jam community today. For more information, check out our affiliates, members, and sponsors via the links below. So much shout out to the Hat Man, the Gatekeeper, Joey Bag of Donuts, and also a very special thanks to the Ferris Cindy. And finally, a huge thanks to everybody who also grew up playing this game. Because if we didn't grow up playing this game, we probably wouldn't be rating this tier list. So let's move on up to Z tier, which if we wanted to break this tier list down step by step, let's just say Z tier list is the tier list you should never choose from. It is the lowest of the lowest. If you want a guaranteed loss, choose Z. In this case, if you want to face in a competition, I would never recommend you to go to Z unless you wanted to do it for bragging points and you were able to breach your competition. And as we can see, Jacob, which is our paddock dealer, you know, he get us right with the chains. He got me right with this chain too, by the way, y'all. Jacob's my man. He gave me right with this chain, y'all. And I fuck with Jacob, but Jacob is a horrible character. He is a horrible, extremely bottom to the pit. And I love you, Jacob, because you get me right. But in Def Jam Fight for New York, you are extremely, and And when I say extremely for the third time, you are a character I would not recommend anybody to play. In fact, I did a stream yesterday, y'all, where I played about 6 hours, not with Jacob, but I played with Jacob for about maybe 2 or 3 matches, and I couldn't do it. It was not fun, although the game is extremely fun. Playing with Jacob was not fun. And his move sets is very slow. He's slow himself. He really doesn't have a good grapple game. His haymaker, which I love doing haymakers, is just so shitty. And his kicks, he does like a little roll kick, and I'm like, this ain't the move. So with that being said, Jacob is possibly the worst character that I've played with. Oh, I appreciate that too, Xpress. I really appreciate that, my G. And if she doesn't have the time to pull up, because I know it's pretty early on a Saturday, I'm actually gonna have this video edited, and I'm gonna re-upload it and make it a small condensed version, just so it's more easier to watch. So next up in that same tier list, which is Z, which is the bottom of the pit, let's just call that purgatory. We have Kimura. I've played with Kimura a couple times, and I actually prefer playing with Kimura over Jacob for a couple different reasons. She's a little bit faster, right? And that's about it. For me, I like speed because when it comes to the recovery, Kimura's speed is a lot better for me than Jacob. So when it comes to Z tier, you should never choose Z tier unless you're trying to make fun of your competition, and you better make sure your competition is ass, because otherwise you're gonna get a guaranteed loss with Jacob and Kimura. So with that being said, that is our Z tier, and let's scroll up to our E tier. I should black everybody out. Can I black everybody out? Yeah, let me actually scroll in so we can't see the names, y'all. So now, Xpress, you can see that, right? And you can hear that, right? Now for our E tier, which I actually want to say that E tier is a small, slight step above Z tier. Now, when I say step above, it's actually a bigger step above than Z tier, but it's in reality it's just a small when you compare the whole entire tier list in a whole. So Cruz, I think Cruz was pretty okay. I understand why he belongs in the E tier, and I think it'll be extremely beneficial if we made this go even further when it comes to rating. So let's bring up everybody's stats. Bear with me for 1 second, y'all. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, everybody. I think it's going to be much, much more beneficial if we actually show the attributes or attributes and stats of every character while we explain why they're on this tier list. That way, it makes it better for the listener, it makes it better for the viewer, and ultimately, it makes it better for fact checking everything that we're saying. So let me get this down. And we're going to get this over to here. Whoops. So we're currently at E tier, which we're just going to classify that as a pretty good step above Z tier, which in reality, it's not an extremely step, but I think Cruz is a solid player. I don't think Manny should be in E tier. I actually like playing with Manny. And in fact, when we do the Jam Vendetta tier list ratings, I'm extremely interested in where Manny is going to rank in Vendetta. But in Fight for New York, I feel like he should be at least 2 tiers above because I actually like playing with Manny. I think he has a pretty cool blazing. He's not mediocre by my standard, and every time that I use him, I did a pretty nice, good job. Now, when you compare that to Cruz, Jacob, and Kimura, I'm getting wiped. I'm getting cooked. If I play with Cruz, Jacob, Kimura, I am getting cooked. There is probably there's probably nothing that can really help me win, especially if I'm facing top tier characters. I'm most likely going to get cooked. So do I see Manny being an E tier? No, not really, but I can understand to a certain extent of why, but I don't think he should be an E tier. And moving forward, for Mecha, I think he should be an E tier. I played with Mecha a few times. People got the best of me, especially when I was facing off against him with Razor. I didn't like that matchup. It was horrible. And even though Razor is in a different tier, I feel that I should still, based upon the way that I actually know how to play the game, be able to work him. So let's load this. So that's Z tier and E tier completed. Let's go up a notch. Now we have D tier, which is going to be controversial because last night, after I end the stream at around like 6 or 7 o'clock, I went through this tier list and I was looking at everybody and I was super shocked to see Flav in here and in the D tier. Now, D tier is still, as I would classify it, bottom tier. Anything below C tier, including a little bit of C tier, but not all of C tier, to me is bottom rank, which means that if I'm in a competitive gameplay, these are the characters that I will most likely avoid choosing based upon my gameplay, my competition, and also by the rule sets of the games and how the AIs and also real people are set up. I do not feel that Flav should be in here. Flav is very fast. He has Hall of Fame charisma. He may even have Hall of Fame speed. And he plays a little similar to Crow. I'm not going to say Flav could get the best of Crow, but I could see their matchups being very, very similar on how their style of play is. I feel that Flav should, at least for me, he should be on the upper side of B tier. All right. I played with Flav like 10 times since I started back playing with Def Jam Fight for New York, and I love his style of play. I love how quick he is. His down one, his grapples. Although they're not the best, I still can work with it. When it comes to E and Z tier, I can't work with anything that they're doing over there. And in fact, let me show you guys, for example. So we have Flavs. Oh, and hey, I appreciate you showing up too, Donnie. Yeah, I'm aware of that. So I like to be competitive, Donnie, and based upon how I play the game, sometimes I'm looking to have fun, but other times I'm looking to win. With Flav's speed, his health, and his charisma, I don't see him being in D tier. Hey, I appreciate you, Xpress. I hope I'm doing a good job, Xpress. I'm hoping I'm doing a good job for you, my G. I appreciate you and Donnie being in here helping me do this. And Xpress, feel free to say anything that you would like. You know I'm an open book. And Donnie, feel free to say anything that you would like, even if we disagree. I think that we're comfortable with each other to disagree, and I definitely feel the support coming from y'all. When it comes to Flav being in D tier, I don't see it. He's too fast. Basically, his speed is on Hall of Fame, which he's one of the fastest characters that I've played against. And in fact, when I'm rising up off the ground after being dropped or knocked down, if I try to quickly hit Flav and he tries to hit me, he's more likely to guarantee to get his hit first. His health is very high, and his charisma is very high. So that's a guarantee blazing. Now, when it comes to upper power and lower power, I can see that being an issue. But when you're super fast and you could get your charisma within a decent amount of hits, and you are a martial artist similar to Crow. I'm not gonna say he's on the same level as Crow, but in my eyes, he's very similar to Crow. Then I feel like Flav should not be in the D list. I kind of have an issue with that, and that's kind of like my second strike on this tier list because I feel like Manny should be in in a different tier, and also Flav should be in a different tier. Now we have quite a few other people who are also on this tier. We have Nori, we have Rome, we have Santos, Snowman, Solo, and Lauren. I'm a little bit surprised at Lauren being this high up. I did not like playing with Lauren. She's part of it, she's part of that what do they call that police gang. And let's actually see. Did I pass her up? Oh no, that's Carmen. I think that's Lauren, right? No, that's Cindy. Should be at the bottom. Thank God I unliked everybody. So if we look at Lauren, her upper body is not the best. It's basically a step maybe above average, if we want to say that. Lower body is pretty average. And when I say average, it's like a 5 out of 10. Speed is pretty cool. Toughness pretty cool. But she isn't that great at anything. You know, she's cool for being tough, but when you have people who have Hall of Fame upper power and Hall of Fame speed, Lauren should get mopped. I don't think Lauren should be this high. And I'm a little bit surprised she's this high, nonetheless. But she does have street fighting techniques. If I face off against Lauren, I'm guaranteed to get the best of Lauren. I can understand why she's a bottom tier character, and and I hope that we could all agree that Lauren should not be in the D tier. I would put Lauren in the E tier. I would swap Lauren with Manny. I would put Manny in D tier and put Lauren in E tier. Although I could put, if I wanted to, I could put Manny in C tier, but I'm being biased at that point. So with that being said, let's go over to Nori and see. Actually, you know what? I think we have Solo in there, don't we? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I'm not the one to shit on tier list, bro. But wait, did I just have him? There we go. So here's Solo, and he's in the D tier list. Solo is a Street Fighter submissioner, right? He has damn near Hall of Fame upper body. Isn't shit for lower body. His speed is pretty okay. His toughness is pretty good. And his charisma is very, very high up there. You like Lawrence Blazing? Hey, low-key, I should open up another session and look at everybody's blazing. Xpress, do you feel comfortable with Lauren being in D tier, or do you feel like she should be in a different tier? I think she should be in E tier. And maybe it's because I'm facing against her most of the time instead of playing with her, but she is not high ranked on mine. I'm having an issue with where Lauren's ranked at. Now, as far as Solo goes, Solo's pretty. It appears to be he's pretty real rounded, but I've seen me get the best of Solo so many times. I would agree that he belongs in D tier. If I play with Solo right now, based on how my gameplay is, I can benefit from using Solo because of these three things. He's a street fighter, he has martial arts capabilities, and he's a submissioner. My type of game is I do a lot of haymakers. And if I have the opportunity to go for a submission, that would deplete even more health. So I like Solo as a character, well designed, but I feel that, maybe he's missing a couple things for him to be in the next tier. I kind of see him being at D tier. I don't have an issue with that. Although compared to the other fighters, he's the first fighter that we've mentioned that has three types of abilities, being martial artist, street fighter, and also submissioner. How about that? Not to mention he can get his blazing pretty quick. Now, so we did Solo, we did Lauren, we did Flav. So let's go over to Nori and see where Nori It's looking like while we reference him. I think he's right. That was him. Okay. Now I've played a match with Dozer and Nori like probably like 10 times already, and for me, Nori doesn't pose a huge threat. For one simple reason, he's fucking slow, bro, and you can beat his ass so fucking quick. You know when I do that 1-2 and then I grab and then I knee and I throw it, that is a good amount of damage Nori is taking. And for him not to be able to keep up with the player that I'm choosing from, then I feel like Nori might be the player that belongs in this D tier list as we speak. I think maybe if you were a Nori god, then you will probably know how to play Nori better than me and also against me. But for me, like Xpress just said, it's pretty much a hit or miss. I think it depends on pretty much the matchups that are in play. So if you have characters that are fast, that do have upper body, and that do have charisma, you may be in a bit of a situation here. And if we look really closely, we have a similar attribute lineup with Method Man and Nori. Except for Method Man has Hall of Fame upper body and Hall of Fame toughness, and Nori just has a little bit below Hall of Fame upper body in Hall of Fame toughness. But nevertheless, they're a similar type of character, and as far as attributes goes. But when it comes down to their ability set, somebody missed it with Nori, man. Submissions and street fighting is pretty cool to have, but those things just won't happen if you're too slow. You can't get started and you can't win this match if you're too slow. Now, you will have a pretty good match depending on how your counter game is, which everybody does not have the same counter game. You know, I've read in the Def Jam Fight for New York Bible that martial artists get a boost. And I don't have martial arts as Dozer's ability or moveset or whatever the fuck it's called that I can't think of right now. But people with martial arts have a better counter percentage than people who don't have martial arts. Now, for me, I don't do as much countering as a typical person would because my type of gameplay is I sidestep. So it's a guaranteed miss if you sidestep at a good time. If you sidestep at the wrong time, you're going to get fucking cooked. So do I see Nori being in D tier list? Yeah, I can see that. I could deal with that. Two people that I'm having an issue with being in this D tier list is Flav. And let's go over to our next subject, which it is. Let's get Roman here. Let's get Roman here. Alrighty, so we have Rome up. Now going through the story mode, you know, you play on whatever type of mode that you want to, whether it's easy, medium, or hard. Once I got to a certain point where I was cooking everybody, I ultimately had to play on hard mode. The competition was not there, and I noticed it when I was playing against Rome. There was a specific match probably about a month or two ago in Fight for New York where I had Dozer, where I basically won the match in about 20 fucking seconds. And when I went back to see like, yo, how strong is Rome? And then I seen his attributes, his health. I'm like, he has Hall of Fame health. Why am I winning this match in 20 fucking seconds? So I looked at everything else, and it was like, okay, his toughness isn't there. So once I get him to a good, respectable red in danger, then I can get the best of him. I just have to work him, and I have to play it smart. So when it came down to seeing Roman where he was ranked in the tier list, I actually think he belongs in the D tier list, and I actually approve that because I don't think he's a shitty character, but only thing that's really gone for him is he could take a beater. Other than that, Rome is not a player that I would actually play with. He has street fighting and martial arts for his abilities, but he will get worked. It's kind of like if you have really, really good endurance, but you don't know how to do anything with that endurance. So you can't punch, you can't kick, You can't get the crowd going, and for that reason, I can see why Rome belongs in D tier list. So I'm actually thumbs up on Rome, being in the D tier list. Let's see. Now I know that I'm I'm gonna be mad when I see one person, and I think y'all know who that is. So let's go over to Santos, and let's actually find Snowman also. Thank God we unlocked everybody, huh? Let's see. It would help if I could find niggas quick. All right, so we got Santos, and let's go find Snowman. Damn, where's Snowman at? Did I pass Snowman? That's Snowman right there. That's Snowman, isn't it? Yeah, that's Snowman. So the final two characters on the D list is Santos, which I think Santos is Brazilian. So if he's Brazilian, shout out to. Wait, no, he's not. That flag, he has a flag in the middle of his waist thing, so he's not Brazilian. But he got those Brazilian colors on. And he's only a kickboxer. Okay. So in D tier we have Santos, and is that Snowman? Hold on, let me make sure I got that right. Yeah. My fault, y'all. I'm high. So Santos, as a kickboxer, he does have Hall of Fame lower power, which I don't think Hall of Fame lower power compared to Hall of Fame upper power is going to be better. Now the fact that he's a kickboxer, he can KO off the turnbuckle, which is cool. I like KOing off the turnbuckle. I think where Santos really fell short at, and why he's not higher up on the tier list, is because of his speed isn't maxed out. You can exchange with Santos, and you can even get the best of Santos if you're a little bit above him in speed. For that reason right there, his lower power doesn't really hit as effective as it could. Oh, he's Thai? Okay. I could believe that. Yeah, I could believe that. I seen the Filipino colors, and I thought Santos not Filipino. I seen the Brazilian color of his shorts. Yeah, Muay Thai. That's what he would have been, right? Because he would have doing Muay Thai, which is I guess it's similar to kickboxing or whatever. Oh wait, no, hands, elbows, knees, and feet. I think that's Muay Thai. But he does have great toughness. He's lacking on the health and characters, which means that if we get in a haymaker, if he gets hit with 3 haymakers, his health is definitely being affected. Now, how he bounces back, he does have toughness, so you're going to have to work a little bit with that as he's recovering. And also, once he gets in danger, it's something that you may have to grind him down. But ultimately, Santos, I can see and understand why he's in a D tier list, and I would agree with that. I think where he really falls short of, other than health and charisma and upper body, which it would have been better if he had a little bit more of everything that I just said. But if he had a little bit of more speed, I would instantly set him up one rank to the C tier. Now Snowman, I usually face off against Snowman, so for his movesets, I'm not that familiar with. But on a versus in, let's just say competition level, I never have any issue with Snowman. Snowman gets wiped. He gets cooked. His style doesn't really kind of match up with what I'm doing and how I play. And even when I switch my styles, instead of being a striker, I'm being a grappler more often. Or instead of starting my combos with the 1-2 grapple, I do a 1-2 kick grapple, and then I knee him, and then I toss him, and then wherever I feel like tossing him, if it's at the ropes, he comes back, and I slam him. So for that, Snowman, I can see why he's in the D tier list. Toughness is pretty cool. His upper body's pretty cool. He could be a lot more faster, which I think speed, for me in this game, speed makes a huge difference. You win exchanges. I feel like the grappling is much, much quicker when you have faster speed. And for that being that, I feel that Snowman far short of being on the C list. Not to mention his health is shitty, and he could barely get his charisma up. So I think that is it for the D list. Which damn, we just went through quite a few people. Can I maximize this? Am I maximizing that? All right, so now we're heading over to C list, which is going to start to get controversial once we get to this B and this A list. But I'll quickly go through the C tier and see what we can do from there. So in C tier, we actually have Shauna, Dub C, WC. Well, I'll just call him Dub C because that's what I grew up referring to him as. And 9 and Trick. If I could remember the way Shauna was set up, which I'm going to bring her up in a second, her charisma pretty low? Oh, no, that was Shantaniqua. Shantaniqua. So we have Shauna up, y'all. Awesome lower power. Awesome. Definitely KO worthy of a lower power. If only she had a fucking little more upper body in hell, she would be a very great character in my eyes. So let's read off her abilities. So for upper body, we're barely at the average. Well, we're at the average, but we're a little bit over the average, aren't we? Yeah, it looks like we are. But for the upper body, it might as well not even count, because if you're not basically in the high green, it's very, very liable that your moves may not be as effective as they could be. Lower body speaks for itself. She has Hall of Fame, lower power. I said lower body. She has Hall of Fame, lower power, and she has some pretty good speed to kick low. Now, I've noticed with exchanges, her haymaker don't KO. Goodness, that is not good. The haymaker is a sneaky fucking devil. For her upper power to be where it's at, and for her to be a street fighter with that speed and that charisma, she should be able to KO off of a haymaker. Now, the fact she isn't, I can understand why she's in C tier. And if that health doesn't put her in D tier, I'm going to be mad. If she was in D tier, I would understand, because that health is so fucking low. Everything else looks good except the upper body. So the fact that you're a street fighter and you can't KO off the upper power, that says something. Now, to make up, you're a kickboxer and a martial artist, so majority of the time when you're playing with Shauna, I would agree for you to use lower power and to do your 1, and then your 1-2 kick, and then your 1-2 grapple knee, and then maybe try for another knee. And I think I feel that Shauna has so much potential. To be in C tier, you were only steps away from being in B tier, but you're also steps away from being in D tier. And for that reason alone, if I face off against Shauna, it could literally be just a 1-2 haymaker game. So what I mean by that is I punch her with forward? I'm about to say forward for right four. I'm trying to translate this, y'all. So everybody who plays GameCube and everybody who plays Xbox. Damn, was this on Xbox? I got to fact check. Fact check if this was on Xbox. I don't remember seeing Def Jam Fight for New York on Xbox. I could be wrong though. So with that being said, we have Shauna, and I feel that Shauna has a lot of potential. Unfortunately, she's another character that falls short of just being in another tier, whether it is for the better or for the worst. So let's see who else we have next up on our tier list. Whoops, my bad, y'all. So we have Dub C, 9, and Trick. So we have Dub C, which Dub C looks pretty good. I think I fought Dub C earlier this week, y'all. And if it wasn't for him having low toughness, then I could see him honestly being in a different tier. But because his toughness is a little lower than expected, I would rank Dub C maybe. You know what? I could give him the benefit. We could put Dub C a little bit higher if y'all wanted to. I could see him possibly being in B tier. Now based on our list, I did play his Dub C yesterday because I wasn't sure of how his set was, and I like his move sets. I'm a fan of being a street fighter and a wrestler because I do a lot of 1-2 punches and I do a lot of grapples. So when I'm a street fighter, I do that to get it started. And if I grapple him, then I'm guaranteed I'm gonna get a good slam. That's the reason why I like doing the wrestlers instead of every other one, because the wrestler, it's a pretty good way to get them on the ground, and we have a control for us to reset. With Dub C, I did that yesterday, and I thought that was pretty cool. Do I like him in C tier? Yeah, we can keep him in C tier. I think that's a good decision. Could I see him in B tier? Oh yeah, I can see him in B tier. And I think what's stopping him from being in B tier is his speed. I think if his speed was on Hall of Fame, he would either be in B tier or A tier. So moving forward, hold on, let me so y'all wouldn't be able to see that. Although y'all do have access to that. Let's go find 9. PF chain, PF chain. All right, so we have 9. Wow, they got him ranked pretty high. That conversation that I mentioned probably about 5 minutes ago, where I was facing Rome, I have faced this one character, and I'm not going to mention his name until he comes up, because I want to fucking cook him, and y'all know who I'm talking about. I know you know who I'm talking about, but when it came to facing 9, I had a little bit of a challenge when it came to facing 9, and that was only because when I was rising up and I was exchanging, he would win some of those exchanges, but as I progressed along and I made sure that my speed became much better, I was able to win exchanges with 9. So do I see 9 being in the correct position on this tier list? Yeah, I could see 9 being in the correct position on this tier list. I don't have an issue with him being any higher or lower. I think C is a good position to have 9 at. Especially if you compare him against faster characters that can get past his speed, then you'll be able to do just fine. If I wanted to be real petty on 9, I would say, you know what? We could put him up on B, or we could swap him out for Flav, and he can go to D, and I could put Flav in C. I like Flav better than 9. Flav has gave me more competition. Oh, you like 9 Blazing? Hey, we got to do a ranking for the top Blazings of Def Jam Fight for New York. Wow, we're already almost on 40 minutes already, bro. So that was 9. Whoops, wrong button. My bad, y'all. And last but not least for this specific tier list. Wait, who's that last person? Oh, we had Trick. I think I passed Trick too. Trick was someone down here, wasn't he? Yep. I feel that when it came to me facing Trick, I literally did like last night almost like 1 minute, like not even 1 minute. I probably did like 30 seconds against everybody against Def Jam Fight for New York just to verify everybody's gameplay. Just so I had it fresh in my head and shit like that. It was pretty fun. It just was a little long, and I stayed up till probably maybe 2 o'clock in the morning doing it or some shit like that. For Trick was pretty easy. I think that the thing that really hurted Trick was his speed. And for him to be a street fighter and for you to lack speed, it's going to be you're going to be a little upset unless you can start putting off your haymakers. So for Trick, his countering game was not that good. I was literally able to spam and do the same exact combos until he got basically in danger. And from there on, it was just a matter of time before he was actually KO'd. Took a little bit longer than I expected, so I could see why he's above the D tier. But I don't know about Trick being in the C tier. I would question to see why Trick was in the C tier, because when I played against him, there was nothing really special for me to do or for me to get outside of my comfort zone for him to be in another tier. So that was the C tier, y'all. And I'm trying to speed it up so we at least have everything condensed under an hour for Fight for New York. But let's move on so we can continue this list. So we already went through C, D, E, and Z, in which will mention that Z is like, no, never choose these two. E is like, okay, if you have a favorite character out of these three, which my favorite character out of these three would be Manny, sure, go choose him. But don't be surprised if you get cooked and you get swept, like a 1st to 5 sweep, and you lost all 5 matches. D, pretty questionable. Flav, I think, should be a little bit higher, but for D, these are characters that if you're a fan favorite, I feel that, hey, sure, go ahead, choose them. If you like a specific person's blazing, sure, go ahead and choose them, but you're not going to get the best of a person who actually knows how to play with these characters. Not saying you're not going to win at all, but if we have a 1st to 10 and you choose anybody from D on below, you're running a very risky operation over there, Maji. So, D, you can play with them if you're a fan favorite. If not, I will stay away, which I actually like Flav, so I don't think Flav should be in D, but maybe I'm being biased. C tier is like, we're starting to get somewhere, y'all. We're starting to get somewhere. I would claim C tier is the average. If you walk in and you play Def Jam Fight for New York for the first time, maybe start with these average players. That way you could get cooked a little bit, but you could also have a chance of winning, maybe a little button mashing. And from there on, we're going to go up to B tier. As we can see in our B tier, we have Eric Sermon, we have Philadelphia Freeway, we have House, we have Jarvis, and Stingray. I'm actually going to start with Jarvis, because Jarvis, I played against him probably like 5 times yesterday. I put him in a match with the 3 other characters, which I won't mention just yet because they haven't been spoken of just yet. And he was doing really well. He did not win any games. He did not win any games against these characters, but ultimately it was coming down to somewhat be a couple people in danger, along with him being in danger because his health was extremely low. And I didn't know how it was going to go, but for Jarvis, let's actually see where his attributes are. Right there. So when I seen Jarvis, which he's one of the cops, as y'all all know, for everybody playing Fight for New York, he has very great upper body. Did not put that many points in the lower power, but still got some points. Speed could do a lot better. Toughness is really there. Health is pretty okay, if you want to say that, but you still get cooked, and his charisma is very, very low. Not extremely low, because I'll show you somebody who has extremely low for their charisma. But Jarvis being in B tier, bro, I can't agree with that, bro. I did not see him win any games when he was facing other characters that were in different tiers. I put him in a match with people who were in tier E, B, and S. He came in probably 2nd or 3rd after losing to the main guy, but that was because he got beat out by somebody in A tier. What I put him in B tier, I can't see that, bro. I cannot see me putting Jarvis in B tier. And you know what made me question why he was in B tier? I actually went over and played as him last night. Looked at his haymaker. His haymaker is pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna say it's the best. I do like somebody else's haymaker, which I'll mention when their name comes up. But it was not fast enough to be the best. His haymaker was pretty fucking good if you can land it. So in a free for all, if you step back and you let two or 3 other people fight each other, and you get the haymaker that way, you're guaranteed to hit it. But based on the speed, it's not the fastest, but it is a very good haymaker. If y'all wanted to say Jervis was in B tier because of his haymaker, I still couldn't do it, bro. Because in this game where people have multiple fighting abilities and their blazings are fucking great, not everybody blazes is great, by the way. So some of them is, and I'll tell y'all who my favorite blazing is at the end of this game, by the way. Actually, no, I'm gonna wait till we do the blazing reaction to talk about that. So, but we have Jarvis in here, and I don't feel like he should be in B tier. I actually want to put him down in C tier, because he was not able to win anything. I watched a couple people play as him. I'm like, why is he ranked so high? And when I see the fighting style, like, okay, but that fighting style can be beat. So for that reason, I can't put Jarvis in B tier. I'm actually going to demote him to C tier. So I do have an issue with that. Let me bring this back up. And now, since we're close to Stingray, which I think I watched a video of Stingray getting cooked. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. So for Stingray, and shout out to Stingray, he be getting us right with the hairline, and he be getting us right with the cuts and all that shit. So Stingray, he got wrestling as his ability, and he has street fighting as his ability. I think Stingray is pretty cool. Charisma is definitely there. Health is definitely there. Upper power, I could have wished he had a little bit more. I think that would have separated him from being an A tier. But nonetheless, I think Stingray is pretty solid. I don't want to put him in B tier either, bro. I feel like everybody's going to be I'm going to put everybody in C tier because they're missing something special. And that something special could either be their speed, their health, or their toughness. When it comes down to charisma, I feel like you can win a game without actually being on a... Shit, give me a second, Xpress. Is that over on YouTube? Hold on, let me do it from my phone. You said Latoya channel? All right, give me a second. Is she over on YouTube right now, Xpress? Or is she over on Twitch? What's that, Facebook? To put Stingray this high, if I go in a match right now with Dozer versus Stingray, I'll be able to cook Stingray. I feel that Stingray should not be in the B tier. Although if he did have a little bit more upper power, I don't care about the lower power. And I'm okay with sacrificing the speed. When I don't want to even say sacrifice. Damn, I can't see her. I don't see her commenting. I think she has to follow me. She's not showing up on my list. But what I'll do is since we're already about 50 minutes into the video, I'll reintroduce myself, everybody. For everybody that's new here, for everybody that this is their first time coming to my channel, I am the Corey Malone Projects, and right now we're streaming the Corey Malone Show, where basically we talk about and we play retro video games. Right now, I'm doing a reaction and rating the tier list that was created by those great folks over at on Twitch and other social media platforms. But I also play just a variety of retro games. Right now, I'm damn near clearing the EA Big catalog, and I'm doing a very, very good job at it. But I'm also going to be going through other games, and not to mention, I just have a love for playing retro video games and shit like that. So she got a channel. Let me see if I could. All right. I see a Queen Latoya. Does she like wrestling? Do she like the wrestling content? I see a Queen Latoya. It looks like she likes wrestling content. Is that the correct one? All right. Oh, is that over on? Okay, okay. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. My apologies. I just want to make sure that I'm providing good service to everyone. Want everybody to, enjoy these videos, have a good vibe. Is this the right one? Yep. Okay. I'm a subscriber and I'm a and see if I can show some support to her channel. All right, cool. Xpress, I just subscribed her, so I'll be sure to, if she's missing out on any information that I said, then I'll be able to at least pass something along. Or if not, if you could possibly pass information along, that would be great. But let me just finish up this video because right now we're in B tier and we're going to be going over to A tier. Stingray, I feel like you shouldn't be in this tier. Nothing to get you, and I appreciate everything you do for for lining us up, but you're kind of up too high for me. So we got Stingray Jarvis, and now we got House Freeway and Eric Sermon left. Whoops, my bad, y'all. So let's go over on. I think Eric Sermon is all the way at the top. But whoever we run into. Okay, so House. Wow. Hey, if I was facing, when I was facing like these characters in story mode, and also when I was facing like last night, there are two different type of characters. There's the characters for story mode, and then there's the characters for the exhibition play now mode that we have up right now. And I feel like these is two different characters, because when I was playing House in story mode on hard mode, I was cooking him. When I played him last night on hard mode inside of free for all in 101, man, I had a little challenge. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna comment on that video. Xpress, I got you. Let me get to A tier, and I got it. I definitely could see why House was high up on the tier, because he was able to counter a lot of my moves, which resulted in a haymaker. So his speed did not make that much of a difference if I'm being countered. So when you're doing a 1-2 punch, and then you grab, and they counter that grab, and they do a haymaker, you have to be precisely on time to parry that in order for it to not work. With House, I was having a very tough time getting past his haymaker, and the only reason why is because he was able to counter, which stunned me, and I was not able to block in time, which I would need to do another counter against him for it to actually pull off. I wasn't worried about his wrestling. Let's get that straight. I wasn't worried. I was worried about his haymaker on his counter, because a lot of characters that I've noticed, once they get you out, once they counter you and they hit you with that haymaker, if you are not fast enough to block it or counter it, you will get hurt. So I can see why House was in tier B. I respect that. I got a brand new level of respect for House, because I did not know he was gonna do that well against Dozer. And in fact, every character that is on this tier list, I played against with Dozer to see their move sets, to see their blazing, and also, well, no, I didn't. I didn't see their blazings. It was mostly their move sets, and I was just getting them to danger and see how we could take it from there. So next up on the B tier is Freeway. Now, notice that we haven't mentioned anybody that I've been facing off against in the challenges that I've done, and it's a reason why. So I think Freeway. Who we got? Freeway. Where's Freeway at? Okay, Freeway. Um, so going back to story mode, when I was facing Freeway with Dozer, he has a similar type of run up and hit you very quickly that Crow has when you face Crow at his hometown building, which is whatever that Crow mansion is called, that office space he has. Um, and I thought I was going to be able to cook Freeway very easily, but it did not go as planned, but I still ultimately got the dub, and it's because he was faster than me. So I could definitely understand, based upon speed and lower power, why Freeway would be in a B tier. He does have kickboxing abilities, and he has martial arts. And correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, but if you have martial art ability, you can KO off the turnbuckle, and you can do a run, jump off the wall, and perform a KO that way also. For that reason, that's a pretty dangerous character to play against. Now, I believe that Crow is the best at doing that, but when it comes down to lesser tier characters, Freeway is a pretty good character that if you were a Freeway player, I would have to respect your speed. Now, his speed is not on Hall of Fame, but what makes it very interesting is he has that kickboxing and that martial arts, which makes his kicks a lot more better, and which makes his grappling kick a lot more better. So I can see why Freeway was high up on this list, and I respect that, and we'll move forward. I think last but not least, we have Eric Sermon. Now, when it came down to playing against Eric Sermon, of course I cooked him. Everybody from basically half of A tier on down, I cooked. Meaning that if we play a 10, which we didn't play 10 matches. I could not play 10 matches with all these characters. But if we played a 10-match set, I'm more than likely going to win 7 of those. More than likely, easily. Eric Sermon, when I came to face him, the only issue I really had against him was his strength of countering, grabbing, and doing a strong grab and bringing Dozer to the ground. Didn't really have that too much of an issue with his street fighting because he was outsped or Dozer was too fast for him, basically. Could I see Eric Sermon in B tier? Of course. I think Eric Sermon was pretty cool to face against. I developed a strategy because everybody has a strategy that you have to work when you play against them, right? So when I mention these 1-2 punches, some players that you do a 1-2 punch against, you have to back up because your third hit will get countered. Some players that you do a 1-2 kick against, you cannot grapple them after that third once that third action is the grapple, they're going to reverse it. You will be pretty fucking lucky once you get to the S tier and you'll see how many people can out counter you with just their abilities alone and the fact that they can capitalize on it. So Eric Sermon, I do see why you're in this tier. Wish your speed was a lot better. I think you'll be a very, very great character in my eyes if you had probably a little bit under Hall of Fame speed, but you don't, and for that reason, you are in B tier. And you don't like Eric Sermon's Blazing? Xpress? Hey, Eric Sermon, I ain't gonna lie, I did get put in Eric Sermon's Blazing once. It was pretty straight. I think I speak for it all when I say that and I probably kind of agree with you in saying that there's a lot more Blazings that I like way better than Eric Sermon's, but I did get put in Eric Sermon's Blazing, and he got lucky with that. So with that, y'all, we cleared out B, C, D, E, and also Z tier. So now we're gonna go up to the people who actually give competition, and this next tier is for people who are only able for you to be used inside of a competitive level. So everything from A tier on down, you can use competitively. Reason why? Is because all them other niggas is very fucking OP, bro. So let's. What? Actually, can we see that? Oh, I'm sorry. S tier. Oh no, double S tier. Yeah, my fault. Double S tier is the one, which I'm going to speak on that shortly. So I have some very very good respect for a lot of these characters, and I'm going to try to quickly go through it because I noticed we're an hour into the video, y'all. So my apologies if we were supposed to keep this a little bit under, but we're doing our best. So starting off, we got Bone Crusher. I faced Bone Crusher probably about 15, 20 times yesterday because I have this issue with me going one-on-one against Bone Crusher. And yes, I did get the best of him, but Bone Crusher is a character that if he grapples you, you're pretty much in a situation where you're going to lose a good amount of health that you would not normally lose against other grapplers or wrestlers. Would I say Bone Crusher is A tier? Of course. Could I see him in S tier? Maybe, if he has something boosted. Oh damn, bro! I forgot to comment, bro. Hold on, let me make sure I comment, cause I'm gonna end up forgetting. All right, I'm on my way. Okay, cool. All right, Xpress, I just commented. All right. So do I see Bone Crusher being an A tier? Of course. Could I see him being an S tier? Quite possibly, because he did get me. I think Bone Crusher did defeat me one-on-one, maybe 2 times, and I got him probably about 8 times because I really had to focus because Bone Crusher requires a certain gameplay when I played against him that you have to hit him with the 1-2 and you have to back up until you get him to a very, very depleted health. Otherwise, if you go for that third hit, he will counter it, and his counter game is pretty good. I'm not going to lie. He did a very good job against me when it comes to countering. But moving forward past Bone Crusher, because I respect him, and he's someone that I have to take serious every time I play against him. Capone being A tier, I don't know. I don't know if I could see Capone in A tier. Do I like Capone? Yeah. Have I played against him? Of course. Did I get the best of him? Hell yeah. I don't know. I put Capone in B tier if I could. He's a pretty cool character. I like his style of play. I like his move sets. But to be in A tier with Bone Crusher and all these other cats, I don't know, bro. I would not put Capone in A tier. I'll put him in B tier though. So moving forward past that, we got Scarface, which Scarface is probably my favorite blazing to use. I love that kick, and it's so fucking dangerous. You could kill someone off of Scarface's blazing when you put them into the ground, and then you kick them right where in the position where you don't want it to be at. Oh, for real? You like that Ronnie Coleman reference? All right, I see you, Donnie. But nevertheless, Scarface definitely is a character that I could fuck with. And there is another character that to me has a similar blazing, which he is definitely a character you cannot use in competitive game. But Scarface is one of my favorite characters. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. He has gained my respect, and I love playing with Scarface. So moving forward past that, we have the last few people. We have Baxter, Massa, and Starks. I'm going to start with Starks. There was a match I did yesterday, which it was a 6-hour stream, y'all. So, hey, feel free to watch that, but it does take a lot of time. and in that stream, I put Stark up against an E character. No, not an E. A C tier, a D tier, and an S tier. And also, I was in that game, but I don't count. And Starks came out on top. Starks had at least 2 or 3 wins against an S. I'm sorry, not an S tier. Against a demigod Titan tier, which is the highest tier that you can never play with competitively. He had 2 wins over that tier. Starks, you gained my level of respect because when I was talking to Xpress, and Xpress, correct me if I'm wrong, we were saying that the cops they can't do it. They wouldn't be able to take down a Titan tier. But the nigga did. I switched the match. We were playing at the train station. I switched the match, and you know what happened with Starks? He fucking lost. He lost. So it does goes to show you that, IQ and AI, their ability to know what's going on inside of the game and to how to play it is very, very good. Starks, I do appreciate you being A tier and also for taking down that Titan tier who is definitely on a Hall of Fame mission. Starks did a really great job. Baxter and Massa, I'm actually going to group them into 2 so I can get past A tier very quickly. I don't feel that they should be in this A tier. I had Cook Massa yesterday, although I did like his blazing a little bit. Because I went over to see because he didn't get the opportunity. Hey, Queen Latoya, I definitely appreciate you for being in here. I definitely appreciate the support. It's much love. Right now, I'm just doing a reaction to the tier list that was created by those great folks over on Twitter for Def Jam FFNY and New York, and we're damn near already in an hour, and I'm still not even close to being finished. I have the upper echelon folks to work with, but right now I'm talking about Baxter and Massa and how I got the best of them. Do I see them being in A tier? When I was facing off against them on hard mode, they were not that much of a challenge. I even went over to see Baxter's blazing because he was not able to do anything against me. Oh, I'm sorry. Damn, Xpress, is it low for you? Hold on, I'll turn it up. How does that sound for y'all? Damn, I've been doing on my volume been low for an hour and nobody told me. Y'all petty as shit. How does that sound, y'all? Does that volume sound much better? But Baxter and Massa, I don't see them being in A tier. In fact, I will put them in B tier. And it's just because they didn't, and competitively, they did not do a good job against my style. They did not do a good job against the computer that I had them facing off against in a free-for-all, everybody for themselves, where there was 4 characters. So for that purpose, I cannot see them being in A tier. If I put Bone Crushers, Scarface, Starks, Capone, Baxter, and Massa, if I put them all in the match, okay, cool. Thanks a lot, Queen Latoya, for pointing that out. I definitely appreciate that. Do I see Baxter and Massa coming on top if I put them against Bone Crusher? No. Do I see them coming on top if I put them against Scarface? I don't see that. And the way that Starks had worked that tier, that demigod tier, I cannot see them in there either. Now, if I wanted to be petty, I could drop Capone, Baxter, and Massa down to B tier. But, somebody put them in A tier, but I would not put them in A tier. So going up, we're going to S tier. Make sure we get everybody. Can everybody show? So we talk about A tier, and then we go over to S tier. Competitively, when I face off against Fat Joe, I really have to work. I cannot come in here bullshitting. I have to be on my A game, or in this case, on my S game, and I have to make sure that I do not over abuse my haymaker, because he will comment on that. Low key, when I was playing with Shauna did a very good job against me, and I was surprised to see her in C tier. And in fact, when we were looking at Shauna's attributes, she does not have attributes of someone who should belong in a C tier. I actually put her in B tier. Damn, can I find Shauna? Oh, that was Shaniqua. Am I going too low? Yeah, I'm going too low. Hold on, let me try to find Shauna so I can speak. That's Shauna right there? Hey, there we go. Yeah, I honestly, Queen Latoya, I would definitely agree with you. Damn, I'm still low? Shit. Am I low for everybody? Does that work better now? Can you guys hear me? Because right now I'm basically the highest that I've been on a stream. Not to mention, I should be the highest that I've been on a stream. Xpress, can you hear me good? I just hired up the volume even more. Oh, you know what I did yesterday, y'all? Oh. Okay, cool. You know what I did yesterday? I had music on in the background, so I lowered the volume so the music would not get picked up. All right, cool. I appreciate y'all. Definitely, because I definitely want to make sure all this information and we were able to talk to each other. So I appreciate y'all. Hey, I'm gonna work my way up there to Flip, because I do have an issue with Flip. But we gonna talk about it when I get to Flip. No, but as far as Shauna, I think Shauna should have been in the B tier. The only way I could see her being in C tier is her health. That health is pretty fucking. Avoid getting hit, which is part of the game, is to hit and not get hit. Then you will have a great time playing with Shauna. But that lower power, that speed, and that charisma, that's a blazing waiting to happen. Especially if you compare she has 3 fighting abilities, which is the martial arts, the kickboxing, and the Street Fighter. She's a very good character to play against. So for her to be in C tier, I'm gonna have to disagree. I think she should be in B tier. I think her health is too fucking low for me to put her anywhere else. But going back up to Fat Joe, every time I face a wrestler, I prepare in a certain type of way, right? I know if I'm going to face a wrestler, they're looking to mostly grapple, but they could also exchange maybe some shots, but their speed is usually the only thing that really cooks them. and I have an issue with that. Now, if I'm in a match with Fat Joe, Bone Crusher, because they're both wrestlers, and let's say, I think Freeway is a submissioner. Let's say Stingray. Let's just throw Stingray in there. I think Stingray does wrestling too. I'm going for Bone Crusher to win this match. There was something special about Bone Crusher. Every time I put him in a match, it's usually me coming down to him being the two to face off. Like right now, if I did a match with Fat Joe and Bone Crusher and Dozer and Stingray, whoever I face off against go lose, right? But whoever facing off against Bone Crusher is going to have to be very competitive. And I don't like that Fat Joe and Bone Crusher matchup. I feel that when I put Fat Joe and Bone Crusher in a match, Bone Crusher usually gets the best of Fat Joe. And I'd be surprised, because Fat Joe, to me, is a very good character, especially his grappling moves and his wrestling moves and his power. So for him to be an S tier, I would definitely agree with Fat Joe being an S tier. But just like almost all wrestlers, his speed really hurts him. But what is speed when you have a strong counter game, right? And I think that's the one thing that really gets Bone Crusher a small little edge. I feel that Bone Crusher, for some strange reason, he counters better than Crack, which is what I should have been referring to Fat Joe as, but I can't remember because every time I talk about Snoop, I say Crow. So so every time I talk about Fat Joe, I'm gonna say Crack. But I can understand why Fat Joe is an S character. His wrestling, his street fighting, when it was Fat Joe versus, it was Fat Joe. What is Fat? Damn, I keep saying Fat Joe. It was Crack, Magic, Ice-T, and Dozer. Yeah, I remember this match I'm talking about, right? Where they injure Ice-T a little bit, so Ice-T has like half health. He has half health. That match was very, very difficult to play on hard mode when Ice-T had half health, because whoever faced off against Ice-T, if it's Magic, Magic is going to submit Ice-T. If it's Fat Joe is going to get Ice-T out here in less than a minute. And I hate to bring their names up because Magic is not being introduced in this tier yet. But Magic and Crack, when you put them together on that difficulty and that handicap where Ice-T, and y'all know which match I'm talking about, right? Just want to be clear on this. Where Crack and Magic, and then it was whoever you created character, which in this case it was Dozer, and Ice-T. I had to play that match at least 2 or 3 times. But I had to develop a strategy that says, all right, I got to go help Ice-T out if somebody on the way to get they blazing, because I'm taking care of whoever I'm taking care of. But Fat Joe, I can understand why he's S tier, but when it comes down to some of the matchups, he does not do well against certain matchups. It's Blaze? I thought it was Magic. Oh, it is Blaze. Damn, it is Blaze, not Ice-T. My fault, y'all. I'm high, y'all. My fault. Because that's the reason why he got that third outfit, right? That's this outfit, ain't it? My fault, y'all. I was talking out of my ass. I thought it was Ice-T and Ice-T instead of Blaze. My fault, y'all. But y'all knew what match I was talking about, so it don't even matter. So moving forward, let's go over to see who's next on that tier list. Oh, your favorite wrestler, Ghostface? I ain't gonna lie, Ghostface is in this tier, bro, and I will talk about him in a second. But Ghostface do be working, bro. And I like Lil' Kim, Queen Latoya. I'm not that much of a fan of Slick Rick. I don't like his movesets. Sheesh. Maybe Cindy J. Maybe. Hey, low key, what I did with Deja over in Vendetta, Deja gonna be my main over. Wait a minute. Hey, Xpress, was that Deja that I had to beat DMX over in Def Jam Vendetta? If we talk about Fight for New York, Queen, I'm gonna say Cindy J maybe. If not, I mean, I did choose Lil' Kim over. I did choose Lil' Kim too when we was going through story mode. Because nobody wanted Shaniqua. Although Shaniqua is in this tier list, isn't she? She is. But next up on the S tier list, we have Ice-T. I actually like Ice-T. I actually called when it was Dozer and Ice-T and we was facing off against niggas in like a tag team match. I refer to Ice-T as the Don. I like his outfit. I fuck with Ice-T in general. As for how he plays on this game, I think Ice-T is a pretty good person for me to run a tag team match against if I'm doing something on a competitive game. I like his set, his move, his blazing. I fuck with his blazing, and overall he's a pretty cool character that goes well with me. So if we look at the stats, oh shit, my fault, y'all. I'm missing the messages. Man, y'all like Lauren, don't y'all? Ain't Lauren bottom tier on this game? Didn't we look at Lauren in like E tier or something? I say just because they put her in the E tier does not mean she belong there. I say she might be in a different tier. Yeah, I like Cindy J. I ain't gonna lie, Cindy J is pretty cool. And for Vendetta, I would have to say Deja, because Deja submitted DMX when I was playing with on Vendetta. So I do like Deja for Vendetta, because man, that was a tough challenge. But we have Ice-T here. I like his upper power. Lower power is pretty cool. His speed is pretty cool. He could do a lot better on his health. And his toughness and his charisma is very looks like his charisma is on Hall of Fame. And it looks like his upper power is on Hall of Fame too, so it's maxed out. I like Ice-T. A submission expert, a martial artist. For me, when I play with Dozer, I play with street fighting, wrestling, and kickboxing. So this set of moves goes very, very good with how I play with Dozer. So I like Ice-T on the S tier. Could I put him higher? Maybe, but I'm gonna have to replace somebody. So we'll see as we go along the tier list of who we will have to replace and why will we replace them. But overall, I like Ice-T. His health is really what's fucking everything up. But nonetheless, if I had a match and if somebody say, yo, you can only choose from S tier, I would probably choose Ice-T. Next up on the tier list, we have Comp, Elephant Man, Ghostface, Shane, Shaniqua, and Skull. Comp, I don't think Comp should be in the S tier. Now, I do want to stress the fact that, and y'all know this game. Y'all know Def Jam Fight for New York. Y'all know this game better than I do. When it comes to playing an AI, that's one thing. When it comes to somebody on a competitive level, that's another thing. You're doing two types of different play styles. The AI has a pretty good understanding of if you keep using the same combo, they will find a counter for it and adjust. A real person could also find the adjustments very quickly, but there is a thing called human error. Comp being an S tier for AI, nah, I don't see it. I don't see Comp being an S tier for the AI. Now, competitively, let's say let's say Queen, if you had Comp and you were a Comp main, Comp belongs to be an S tier. Oh shit. Oh no, I'm gonna have to disagree with that, Queen. And I know and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I'm gonna disagree with it, with your top 3 martial artists. Because there is one martial artist in this game that will cook every fucking body because of her grappling game. And I forgot to mention her, y'all. And I'm gonna wait till she get here because she is on the Titan list. And y'all know who I'm talking about. There's only one girl, one beautiful lady on the Titan list of being a demigod. And every time I have to face off against her, and I'm not going to mention her name yet, y'all. I'm not going to mention the name. But y'all know who I'm talking about. She is, if not, she will cook Crow. She will cook Red Man. There you go. We got Carmen Electra, y'all. That girl is a fucking monster. Let me make sure Carmen don't got another. I think she just got martial arts, don't she? She ain't got kickboxing, right? Where's she at? She on the side, ain't she? All right. I'm not gonna talk about Carmen Electra yet. I'm wait for that. But Jesus Christ, bro. Carmen Electra is a demon. Carmen Electra, I do not like facing off against Carmen Electra, let me not say Redman, Doc, and Crow. For 3 different reasons. Carmen Electra and Redman. Damn, I keep saying Redman. She got kickboxing? I did not see that. Or maybe this the... Oh, she does got kickboxing. No shit. All right, cool. I appreciate that, Queen. But I'm not going to dive in. Let me get through the tier list because I'm not going to lie, y'all. Carmen Electra is on a whole different level. Her AI is on a whole different level when I face off against her. I even watched Carmen Electra play. I stood over in the corner against Crow, Doc, and Carmen Electra to see who was going to win. Man, Carmen Electra countered every fucking thing they threw. They had no chance, bro. So let me get back to the S tier, y'all. I don't even want to go down that road just yet. And I think I might have to end the video after I do this tier because right now we're coming up on an hour and a half, y'all, and I may have to make another segment called rating the tier list, and then that tier list is continued from this list. But I'll get through the rest of these people right now. So as I mentioned, when it comes to competitive versus the AI generally understands controls, but a real person understands, just how to adjust on the fly without having to do all this shit. So if you're a comp main, man, I can't do it, man. Damn, Queen, I can't do it. Redman, I've cooked Redman so many times. Carmen Electra, everything I throw at her, bro, I mix it up. She is a fucking counter demon. Like out the gate, let's say I'm facing somebody who I've never faced for the first time. What I usually do is I back up and I sidestep, right? Because I'm not sure if they're going to run up and try to kick me like a lot of martial artists do for some odd reason, or run up and try to hit me. So I back up just really quickly and I move to the side. After that, I hit him with the 1-2 because anything after 3, that third hit is being countered. For sure. If I do a 1-2 and then I do a kick on Carmen Electra, that fucking shit is getting countered. If I do a 1-2 and I grab, she is breaking my grab and she's grabbing me and she's kneeing me twice. Man, that fucking now Doc will do the same thing. The problem with Doc is Doc has to take a little bit more work for it. When it comes to Doc, 1-2 back up, 1-2 back up, 1-2 grapple, knee, throw, wherever he's getting thrown at. If it's a rope, I'll catch him. If it's a if it's a ledge, I'll get him there and then I'll grapple him again. So I can get out of that. Not to mention, bro, we didn't even discuss people's recovery. It is fucking embarrassing to see how quick how quick Crow, Doc, and Carmen Electra recover off of kicks. That shit is embarrassing. I tell you, man, hey, I'm not gonna lie, Queen. She be cooking me. I gotta change my strategy then. I gotta adjust to her. So let me get through the rest of this tier because we talking about people we should not be talking about just yet. Let's not talk about them just yet, y'all, because I haven't had a chance to go through their tier. But S tier, we do have Elephant Man. I thought Elephant Man was pretty cool. When I put him in the highest of tiers, I I couldn't really honestly put him in the S tier. I like his style of play. I like his attributes, the way that they have set up. But me, as far as when I was playing with Elephant Man and also playing against him, he didn't really wow me. Oh, we didn't even look at comps. But yeah, I see comps. Nothing really too impressive if you're a wrestler. So for me, when you're a wrestler and you don't have speed, that's kind of an issue for me. I don't know why, but it is. But every wrestler basically has the same amount of speed. Well, not every wrestler, but majority of them have the same speed. So who are we up on? Okay, we're up on Elephant Man. So last night I had faced off against Elephant Man, and I actually played against him because I was actually having fun with him, and we were actually going back and forth. The reason why we were going back and forth in this match was because he was a little bit faster than I thought he was going to be, and when it came to me trying to punish him for when I countered, his stun time wasn't that long. So if I mistimed, let's say a grapple, like let's say I did a strong grapple, and I mistimed it, and and he would be able to counter that. He could put some pretty good damage on me with his kicks, and also the way that he has his grapple, and he can knee me and all that shit. So could I see him on the S tier? Maybe. But I want to see somebody who plays with only Elephant Man and see how that goes. Otherwise, I can't really say he belongs anywhere else. But I did have a lot of fun with him. But anywhere else, I could even see him going lower if I really wanted to be petty. But he did get a win over me, so I can't be too petty. Are you? Queen, you know what I be fucking up so many times? So I like to say that I'm pretty good at blocking, but I think it's because of my counter. I think I mistime certain counters because I think other moves are going to happen. For example, let's say she does hit me. I'm thinking that another hit is going to come. I'll be high. I'll be, smoking my good weed. But as soon as I hit her, as soon as she hits me and I block, she's ready to grapple. That's my first mistake. Thinking that it's going to be a second hit to come along instead of a grapple being followed up. Because my play style is I 1-2, and then I base my move on how the character's abilities are. So I'll do a 1-2 and back up. If they are a haymaker specialist, I'll do a 1-2, back up, wait for them to initiate the haymaker animation, and then I'll sidestep, and then I'll grab them, and then I'll get them like that. So I'm gonna work, Queen. I'm gonna work on that strategy because I do want to do a challenge against Carmen Electra. I know, I be high. I that's my problem. I be trying to counter. I be trying to counter too much. And my countering game is pretty straight, but it could be a whole lot better. But if it came down to me, let's say in a realistic situation, like when did you have a chance to see that crow challenge I did, Queen? Because that was a lot of fun. I did that. I probably did like 30 times or 30 attempts. Are you like Vendetta? What you like Vendetta? What about Vendetta do you like more, Xpress? Is it the reversal system? Because, man, those reversals is... Man, the way they do those reversals is fucking ridiculous. You don't know if it's going to be reversed until it's reversed. Oh, Donnie, you like Elephant Man too? Hey, Donnie, let me find out you an Elephant Man. That this is your main character for Def Jam Fight for New York. Yeah, I like his moveset. I think his blazing was pretty cool. All right, let me bring up the tier list so we can finish off strong, y'all. Next up is Ghostface, Shang, Shaniqua, and Skull, which is, I guess, Danny Trejo 1.0. You know, there was a lot of excuse me, y'all. There was a lot of matches I had with Ghostface because I wanted this chain. I fuck with Ghostface Killer's chain. I like that robe he got on, by the way, y'all. That GFK robe is pretty clean. I fuck with that. I had a tough time against Ghostface. When I played with Ghostface and I was learning his move sets. Wow, y'all all like Doc, huh? All right, cool. When I was playing with Ghostface and I was learning his move sets, and keep in mind, y'all, I just to go back to the past. I played this game like 20 plus years ago. Let's just say 20 plus years ago. Now let's say 15 to 20 years ago, y'all. Give me a little bit of benefit on my age. And you know, when you play these games and you get this nostalgia and you play it again for the first time, like I think I started Def Jam Fight for New York up for the first time like a couple months ago or some shit like that when I started streaming. And Jesus Christ, Ghostface was cooking me, bro. He was cooking me. I had to learn his style of play. I chose him as a character to play with. And like, okay, what is his grapple look like? How fast is he really? Can I get the best of him? Can I get it off the turnbuckle with him and shit like that? And I strongly believe that Ghostface does deserve to be in S tier. I like Ghostface. If I had a match with Ghostface and Ice-T, I'm gonna choose Ice-T, but I know I got to be on my A game against Ghostface. You know. So with that, I respect Ghostface. I like his move sets. His blazing is pretty cool, and he definitely does belong to be in S tier. If I wanted to be petty, if I really became a Ghostface main, I'll throw him up another tier. For real. Oh, it's the music? Hey, I'm not gonna lie, Xpress. My favorite blazing on Vendetta is Manny's, bro. Man, the way Manny knees you. Is fucking ridiculous. Manny's blazing is a fucking. You can kill somebody off of Manny's blazing. I do like Joe Budden's blazing on Vendetta also. I think well, I'm not gonna speak on let's try not to speak on nothing Vendetta just yet, Xpress. But I do fuck with the characters, I fuck with the places. I like how we can get off the turnbuckle. And that pin do feel cool. So let's move on to complete S tier. We got Shang, Shaniqua, Skull. I actually like Shang, if I'm pronouncing that right. Shout out to Shang. I was facing off against him last night. I did probably like a 30-second match against him just to let him cook me and just to see how I can cook him. And then I played a serious match with him, and it came down to the wire. I underestimated him a lot. I think Shang is a pretty cool character. If somebody was a Shang main, I could see them giving problems with certain characters. Not every character will have a problem against him, in my opinion. But nonetheless, he do be working. Let me see if I can find this attributes. That him? Yep. With just about anybody with extremely Hall of Fame speed, most of the martial artists have very, very good speed, if not Hall of Fame speed. Not every, but most do. And Shane kind of gave me some work because when it came to me getting up off the ground, so let's say hypothetically, he knocked me down or he grabbed me and then he got me to the ground and I'm about to rise up. There's an exchange that's going to happen when I rise up. So as soon as I get up, I'm assuming he's going to grab, right? If he doesn't grab and we trade punches, he's going to win the punch. So usually what I have to do is I have to anticipate if he's going to punch or if he's going to grab. And if he's going to punch, more than likely I'm not going to win that punch match, but I'm going to be able to counter that punch and give him some pretty good damage. His health is pretty cool. It's not the best, but it's definitely something to consider. Could I see Shang in S tier? Yeah, I can see it. I like having Hall of Fame speed. I think speed is a great thing. Wow, we're already hour and 40 minutes into this. I did not know that this was going to be this long. and I do apologize everybody because I know y'all got places to be. But I'm going to just get these last two characters out the way, which is Shaniqua and Skull. So right after these two, we're actually going to end the stream, and I'm going to see if we could do another stream later on to finish it up while I send this video off to get edited. Although it is 2 hours of editing, so man, that's going to be a couple dollars right there, y'all. But I do it for y'all. So let's start off with Shaniqua. Just recently, I unlocked Shaniqua, right? And when I unlocked her, the first thing that I noticed was her charisma was so shitty. It's probably, if not the lowest, it is probably one of the ones that you will have an interesting fight. And I think she's all the way at the bottom. Yep, there she goes. So, as we can see, she has great upper power, some pretty good lower power. Speed could be a little bit better, and that's probably what's stopping her from being in another SS tier. The toughness is very good, if not great. The health is pretty good, but the fucking Achilles heel is the charisma. Now, where does the charisma come into play at? My thing about these matches is you have these fights and you have these people who counter, so you cannot get a strong grapple in, which will ultimately lead to a KO. For her fighting abilities with the wrestling and the street fighter, I think those are pretty good. I like those. In fact, that's actually what I'm running with Dozer. I'm running wrestling, street fighter, excuse me, and kickboxing. So obviously I like for my players, for the ones that I play with, to have those also. Where she really falls short at, in my opinion, is if I had to say, would I take very good speed or would I take pretty okay charisma? I'm taking speed. I'm taking speed, hands down, y'all. The reason why I am taking speed is because you can KO without a blazing. Now, a blazing would be a guaranteed KO if they are in danger or if they are in rare, or even if you need to deplete a lot of their health. But when you have great upper power, great toughness, very good lower power, and good health with okay speed and horrible charisma, where do you shine at? Does she belong in S tier if you're a Shaniqua main? Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. I'm going to do Vendetta. I think I might do Vendetta tonight. I'm going to try to sneak in and do Vendetta tonight, Xpress. But I'm definitely trying to work that in there. Because this is I did not anticipate this list for being that long. That the girl you like has, and you have to tell your friend. I mean, listen, I know y'all say Shaniqua ugly, but everybody's beautiful in their own type of way. Would you go one-on-one with Shaniqua, man? Donnie, would you be able to be the Shaniqua main? It's looking limited. Xpress, would you be able to? It's looking limited. Would I be able to? I may have to work my ass off. But ultimately, if she can't get her blazing, she's going to have a tough time. But I like Shaniqua. When I played off against her yesterday, I thought she was a pretty cool character. And with that being said, let's move on to the next and final character, which is Skull, a.k.a. Danny Trejo 1.0. All right, y'all. So we have Skull that's next up. Has very great upper power. Falls very short with lower power. Speed is pretty okay. I'm not going to say it's great. Or I'm not even going to say it's good. I know. I'm just playing with you, Xpress. But speed is definitely something to consider. Toughness is really great. Health is pretty good. Well, I'm going to just say good. And charisma is good. Now, Skull in S tier. When I faced off against Skull yesterday, I appreciate you, Trey. Hey, Trey, I was just talking about Danny Trejo too. Hey, everybody, this my peoples right there. Y'all see my man Manny Trejo? That's my peoples right there, y'all. Xpress, Queen, and Donnie. That's my boy Trey right there. Is much love. That's one of my niggas I'll be playing over in 2K. That's one of the gang. But as far as Skull goes, bro, I don't know if he belongs in S tier. When I was playing off against him yesterday, he was suffering because he wasn't fast enough to keep up with how I play my gameplay, right? The only thing that I was really worried about was his haymaker, but he did not use his haymaker as much as I thought he would. He was relying more on his submissions. The problem with submissions is you can see it coming if they grapple. So when they grapple, you can counter that grapple very easily, or you can sidestep it, which would leave them open for you to hit them with a 1-2 and grapple, and they'll be behind. So with that, it's pretty hard for them to pull that off. Now, where he really excelled at is when I threw a 4-hit combo, which is I only really do it when the health gets very, very low. That's because I'm cooking them so much. He was able to counter that and get me in some pretty good submission. Oh, it's no problem, Queen. I appreciate you being here. Right now, we're just wrapping up the stream talking about Skull, but I did talk about Shaniqua also. So do I see Skull being an S tier? Not really, bro. I could take him down to A tier only because he did very good for his submissions, but his street fighting was not really an issue for me. Like, if I'm having a fight with a street fighter who also has the ability to do submissions, if you can't land a haymaker on me, then that is completely out of the question. So now I just need to focus on submission, which would only be available if you counter something that I throw at you, or you catch me slipping because I'm slow on my movement and I don't sidestep or counter your original grapple. So for Skull to be an S tier, I don't know. I would actually knock him down. I'll throw him in A tier. So with that being said, everybody, this is the Corey Malone Project. I did a 2-hour stream of talking about the of me rating the tier list that was created by those good folks over at excuse me, over at Twitter and Reddit. Let me show y'all one more time before we get on out of here. So for this video, we only did S on down, but as y'all can see, we got the Titans, we got the Broken, we got the Squad, we got the Obvious, we got the Hidden Gems, and we got the SS. So next video, we'll be able to probably go through almost all of them, and I'll save the Titan video for its own video, and that means for you all to get the most out of it. But as y'all can see, when it comes down to everybody on this list, if I had a chance to choose between anybody on this tier list based on their tier, I'm playing with Ice-T. I would take Ice-T over everybody in this tier list. I like his style of play. I'm familiar with his style of play. He's a good partner for me to tag team with, and also he complements everything that I do. So Ice-T is going to be my player that I play with on S tier. Usually I just sidestep and puncher. Oh, and not to mention Queen, I do a lot of running. So usually if I play against a very great top tier Titan character, if I don't get my hit started, I want to create space for them to for me to actually get things going. So that would pretty much entail that I'm going to back up, sidestep, run, and I'm going to do that roll that we do. So for S tier, I'm taking Ice-T. For A tier, man, I'm taking Bone Crusher, bro. Bone Crusher and cooked me a couple times. As far as Blazing go, I'm taking Scarface Blazing though. I love Scarface Blazing. For B tier, honestly, it's a toss up between Freeway and Jervis, who I would take. I seen Jervis cook a lot of people, so if I had anybody to go with, I'm going with Jervis. Oh, so you, hey Queen, you own Carmen, don't you? Hey, you own everything about Carmen, huh? Xpress, I think I might be streaming. Was maybe what you doing around 9 p.m. tonight? I think I might stream around that time for us to go complete the list. For C tier, man, I might go with Shauna, bro. I feel that Shauna should not even be in this tier, bro. If there was a competitive league and you could only choose characters from C tier, I'm going with Shauna. Hands down. I don't think Shauna should be in this tier. I would honestly throw her up in B tier. And if I had somebody to take down, I would probably take down House or Eric Sermon. For D tier, I'm mad that, oh my God. I'm mad that they put Flav in D tier because I actually fuck with Flav. His charisma is on Hall of Fame and his speed is on Hall of Fame. So I don't understand how Flav is in D tier. And he's basically a nerfed, in my opinion, a nerfed version of Crow. So and his moves is very unorthodox too. His moveset's like at times you don't know if he's finished with the hit, so you throw a punch at him and he hit you already. I feel like Flav should be in maybe the B tier, maybe the C tier. Let me not be too generous. If I had somebody to take out of B tier, I would put Flav in B tier and take Eric Sermon down to C tier, and then from there I'll take Trick down and put him in D tier. That way, you know, they all stay there. I said, you got him. I like that, Queen. I like that. And say, you know what she doing before she even do it. And for E tier, honestly, I'm taking Manny. I don't think Manny should be in E tier. I like Manny. I like him giving us the tattoos. I like his blazing. Although his blazing in Vendetta is fucking gruesome. It basically you wonder if the nigga is alive after he got kneed that many times, bro. I don't have no goodness. You petty for that, Queen. I'm not taking Carmen Electra over Crazy Legs at all. I'm not taking them over. I think Donnie will. And last but not least, we have Z tier, which, I mean, do I have to choose anybody? I'll go Kimura. Kimura look good. I fuck with Kimura. And with that being said, y'all, let me go over to Dozer and we'll wrap up this video. So as y'all can see, this has been a great stream. I appreciate everybody who has stopped by to show love and show support. I'm gonna go ahead and light up this gas for y'all, and I hope to be back on here probably about 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. So if y'all have some time, feel free to drop by. I'll be finishing up the tier list, and I'm also going to send this 2-hour video over to get edited for whoever's going to edit this. Godly, I'm going to have to pay them some good money because for somebody to edit a 2-hour video the way I want it to be, for me to upload on YouTube, it's going to be something. So I appreciate all the support.
for everybody. Much love, Queen. I love what you got going on over there. I fuck with that WWE content. Last week I was streaming WWE SmackDown versus Raw 2007. So if you fuck with that, feel free to fuck with my vibes. I'm definitely trying to get my PS2 working again so we can stream more of that. As y'all can see, I got my boy Dozer up there, a.k.a. the Bulldozer. His fighting style is street fighting, wrestling, and kickboxing. As y'all can see, he's a demon. His upper power, his charisma, his chain. We here to get right. And we're here to have a fun time. So with that being said, y'all, I am the Corey Malone Project, the host of the Corey Malone Show. I usually stream Monday through Thursday, 9:30 p.m. until midnight on the Eastern Time Zone. But my man Xpress said, yo, Corey Malone Project, I want you to rate this tier list. And I said, you know what, Xpress, you know I fuck with you. And you know I fuck with this game. So with that being said, I appreciate the love that everybody has gave me for this video. It has been a long one. Let me go ahead and hit this one time for everybody get out of here. Yeah, I'm that 2007 I'm gonna be putting in. Yeah, but you know what, Xpress, I don't like the way they did his blazing. I feel like it's not as gruesome. You know what I'm saying? So I will catch y'all hopefully tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. I gotta head out to go create some content today. But nevertheless, it was great seeing y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of the day that y'all have, and I will see y'all when I fucking see y'all.